All right, what's going on, everybody out there? It's your boy VJ, right for Unsportsmanlike Conduct, man, aka VA's top talk boy, VA in the building, aka the blue-eyed Barkley. See the eyes? I was kind of built like Barkley. I used to try to play like Barkley when I was a kid. All my little nicknames anyway. 18, 85, 15. Y'all already know the stats. A few days ago, my boy Corey from back home, what up, big Corey, asked me to post a response and do a video to a huge sports story right now. Now, before I even get started, I want everybody to know this isn't a Redskins bashing post. This isn't an RG3 bashing post. I've already proven myself on that. I already told Redskins fans which y'all were going to be, not for disdain for the Redskins, because I know football. I know sports. This is why I do what I do. I thought they were a 6-10, 5-11 team. I didn't think RG3 was ready to play. I didn't like the fact that he didn't play any preseason games. In football, you need reps. I don't care if you're the center, if you're the long snapper. I don't care whatever position you play. You could be the water. Even the water boy need practice, like making sure the right amount of Gatorade is in each cup per player's request. Anyway, so that isn't what this post is about. This post I want it to be a little more I want it to be a little more socially conscious type of post, you know what I'm saying? So I'm seeing a lot of things out there. I'm seeing a lot of, love for RG3, hate for RG3, blame on Shanahan, hate for Shanahan, Daniel Snyder, whoever. All right, so I'm going to give my point and my view about how I see this, and I'm going to attack it from a different angle and from a different view than most people have. All right, we're going to save RG3 for like Robert Griffin III. I hate calling him RG3. We're going to save Robert Griffin for last. All right, let's start with Daniel Snyder, okay? This entire situation isn't just about this year. It isn't about last year. Daniel Snyder's been the owner of the Redskins, I believe, for about 15 years now. I'm from the DMV. I remember when he first bought the team, when he first took the team over. I remember when they first opened FedEx Field. I was going out there working the concession stands at FedEx Field. So I was out there watching the skins, seeing all the free agent signings from Theon to Bruce Smith to Mark Carrier to the trade for McNabb to Jason Campbell to getting Champ Bailey. Champ Bailey was gone. You bring in a guy like D'Angelo Hall, who's a homeboy, played at Virginia Tech from Northern Virginia. I get all of that. Daniel Snyder is not a good football owner, period, okay? Daniel Snyder is a money man. He doesn't know football. That's why he needs a really good general manager. He can't be general manager. I'm telling Redskins fans right now, Daniel Snyder is the next Al Davis right behind Jerry Jones. Those two franchises are going to be as bad as the Raiders have been for the last 10 to 12 years because they don't know how to run a franchise. And not saying Al Davis didn't, he did. But once you got a little older, you got to change your mindset. You got to change your thought process about NFL football and NFL players. As the game gets better, the guys get bigger, they get faster, the game changes. Offensive coordinators coming up with crazy schemes. Defensive coordinators coming up with what they call exotic blitzes now. To me, it's just a blitz. It's not an exotic blitz. You either break it from the left, you break it from the middle, you break it from the right. It's not exotic, but you know how we like to do, like the word elite. Is he an elite quarterback? I hate that word, elite. What makes you elite? Would you got to win like 12 Super Bowl rings to be elite? There's elite quarterbacks in the NFL to me that don't have Super Bowl rings, but that's another story for another time. So, Daniel Snyder has totally screwed this franchise up. I don't believe in the Indian name curse. I believe in some curses in life, karma through God and your religion, but not that. I don't think that's got anything to do with why they haven't been winning and things of that nature. So Daniel Snyder buys the team. Daniel Snyder, in 15 years, this will be his 9th head coach coming up. That's like 2 coaches that's like a coach every 2 years, excuse me. That's a coach every 2 years, okay? That's not a formula for success. If you go look at the teams, oh shit. I didn't know that was gonna come on. Y'all remember that shit? Yo, man, that's still a black people's baby love making song right there. That's baby making music right there. Rap style, but they use the Isley Brothers, little, but anyway, Biggie Smalls, yo. I love it when they call me. Anyway, so if you look around the NFL, the successful franchises have longevity. Longevity owners, longevity general managers, longevity head coaches, longevity starting quarterbacks. Those things you have to have. If you don't have those, you're not winning shit in the NFL. This isn't the NBA where you could just go sign LeBron, Wade, and Bosh and then go to 3 straight finals. This isn't the NBA where you could go get Garnett, Jesus Shuttlesworth, and put him with P2 and go right to the championship and win it. This isn't Major League Baseball where there's not a salary cap and you could pretty much just outbid everybody for the best players and, attempt to go win a World Series. In the NFL, there's salary cap, there's luxury tax, and not saying there's not these things in these other sports, but the NFL is different. There's no guaranteed money. So when you put your team together, you got to make sure you're guaranteeing you're going to give the money to the people who, deserve the money. That's why quarterbacks get big contracts. That's why Tom Brady's $100 million man, Breeze is $100 million man, Matt Ryan's $100 million man, Eli Manning is $100 million man, Peyton Manning is there's $100 million quarterbacks in the NFL, and there's a reason for that, because they make the league go. Let's just get real. I know people don't like the way quarterbacks get treated, but are you paying to see K. McNown? Were you paying back in the late 90s to watch Achilles Smith? No. You're paying to go watch Thomas Brady. You're paying to go watch Mr. Peyton Manning. You're paying to go watch Mr. Drew Brees. I refer to him as Mr. That's how much respect I have for him as a former football player and a football enthusiast. The guys I have respect for, they get called Mr. That's just the way I was brought up. You respect somebody, you call them Mr. or Mrs. Anyway, so let's go down to the coaching now. Let's go down to Shanahan. We can go on Dan Snyder all day. Shanahan is who Shanahan is. I've said it. I've heard other people on radio outlets, news outlets, sports talk outlets say it too. So I don't want to act like I'm the guy that discovered Shanahan was an asshole. No, I just always thought he was an asshole. I always thought he got credit for, Super Bowl rings. And I know you had Elway, but you couldn't win anything until you brought Terrell Davis along to add to that. But you couldn't get credit for Elway's rings. And, I wasn't a big Elway guy because I was a Marino guy, but Elway was the man. Like, John Elway was the shit. If you could really remember, if you're too young and you watch this post, go back and YouTube some games. Go back and YouTube the drive. See a man that took his team to 3 Super Bowls. He had to go against, he got trashed by the Giants. He got trashed by the Niners. He got beat by some good teams. The Giants trashed him. The Niners trashed him. He got beat by some good teams. And then he turned around and he beat a good franchise in Green Bay when they won their first championship. But anyway, when you look at Shanahan, you brought a coach in who is who he is. He's stubborn. He's office rocker. He's very arrogant. Those 2 Super Bowl rings carry a lot of weight. And that's why Shanahan can act the way he acts. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. But I didn't write the rules. Like my grandmother used to say, I didn't write the book, but I read it. I studied it. I wasn't the author, but I read the book. I'm not the creator of the NFL. I'm not the creator of football. I get that. But I know how the league works. I know how the league goes. Up and down, left and right, diagonal, sideways. It's never going to change. Head coaches that win get pass after pass after pass. Look at Bill Belichick. And I respect him because I watched documentaries on Bill Belichick. I watched the Football Life, that 3-part series they had on him, or 5-part series, whatever it was. I watched the entire thing. And I remember really sitting there watching like, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was breaking down film with his dad at 6 years old. Like, that's respectable. But those 3 rings allow Belichick to kind of get away with being very meek with the, very, very bleak with the press. And he got caught cheating once, and it was really like no big deal. Patriot fans never want to bring it up or talk about it like it never happened. But we all know it happened. We all know he got caught. We all know he put someone up in the rafters of stadiums during games and had them with binoculars and shit, man. Like, looking at their play calls and looking at their hand gestures and then relaying it down to the sideline. That's cheating. I don't give a shit what you try to say. I know if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Let's kind of leave that in college. Pros, you're a pro now. When you become a pro, you should really want to be good on your own merit. But coaching, Super Bowl rings, those 2 things go together, man, and you could get away with a lot. Look how Shanahan treated Hainsworth. Look how Shanahan treated Clinton Portis towards the end. Look how Shanahan treated who was it? McNabb. I mean, it's player after player down there that has an issue with him. Now, I don't think he ever wanted Robert Griffin down there. I thought he wanted to go a different route. But when you're the head coach don't make those draft moves, okay? The owner decided to make those draft moves. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy VJ, right from Unsportsmanlike Conduct, man. We're here in the Sports Talk back game, relaxing on a nice Wednesday afternoon. Today's Thursday. Damn, I got my days all messed up, man. I've been so busy lately. So, welcome back. Your boy VJ, right? 8515, VA's Top Talk Boy. Talking about the Washington Redskins situation right now, which is a huge sports story right now. So, I got hit up by one of my boys, Corey. Corey, what up, homie? And asked my opinion on it. And I told him that I thought that was a subject that I didn't want to type back about on Twitter or Facebook or anything like that. I wanted to do a video post throw it on the YouTube page. You guys can find me at Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I'm also vining now too, man. I let my nieces and my daughter talk me into Vine. I got 2 teenage nieces and a teenage daughter, and they taught me into creating a Vine, and now I'm actually in love with the shit. Like, I love it. I love the way you can do your videos and everything. I'm trying to make it more comedy, more sports talk, those type of things. Not too much, goofiness, or I'm definitely not like lip singing over, songs showing, making up lip sync videos and clips and things of that nature. So I want it to be more pure, more about who I am. So anyway, check me on Vine, VJ Vernon, Facebook, VJ Vernon, and Twitter, VJ Vernon. So I want to really get into this, all right? Because I want to attack this topic from a different angle, as I try to do with mostly everything that I would normally, talk to people about as far as sports topics go. Let's go over what we have here. We got a franchise that is a storied franchise, very storied. Super Bowl rings, Joe Gibbs, the Hogs, John Riggins, Theismann, Sonny Jurgensen, Art Monk, Gary Clark, the Posse. You Skid fans remember all of that, man. Brian Mitchell, one of the most, probably the best utility player of all time. Right? Receiver, quarterback, DB, kick return, punt return, punter, snapper, holder. He held for extra points one year. I mean, Brian Mitchell, I wasn't a fan, but, got to give him his football, man to man, got to give him his football respect. But it's a story franchise, all right? You got an owner that came in, and he's a money guy. All right, let's not twist it. He's a money guy. He's no jack shit about football, about running a franchise. Raynell and I can run a franchise better than him, right? I could come general manager of the Redskins right now and have y'all at 9-7 next year, and we go 11-5 the next year, and we in the NFC Championship game the year after that, and we gonna hang a banner and have a parade and 4 seasons. Straight like that. I'm gonna be at gym one day. I'm telling y'all, everybody out there that knows, they know my mind. They know if God willing I do the right things, I can get there. Ain't nobody gonna give it to me. I gotta earn it. Anyway, he don't know jack shit about football. Okay, that's problem number 1. You have to know football when you're an owner, or you better find a general manager who has deep-rooted ties in college, even down to high school, and all through the pro level, to make the right draft picks, the right free agent signings, and the right cuts. Those are the 3 things. That's a GM's job. Draft players, sign players, cut players. Manage the money. They're not doing that right now. He's paying a luxury tax because he's oversigning people. He's paying people money that they don't deserve and that they really shouldn't get. And it's causing a mess. It's been causing a mess. He's been the owner there 15 years. Shanahan's been there 4 years. What, 27-34, 28-34? That's 6 games below 500. That's not horrible, but guys, that's not even average, okay? I'm not gonna like it's horrible. Horrible would be like if he only won maybe like 15, 16 games. He's won 28 games. Last year they went on a 7-game, streak, so that helped him out. But then losing 5 in a row right now, and then being 3-10 right now doesn't help it either. But anyway, so now we go down to the coach. You got an owner that don't know jack shit about football. Rich guy, got a lot of money, and he's trying to buy players. Then you got a coach that you hired who knows football. Now, some of you Redskins fans, I know you're talking out of anger, I know you're talking out of heart, but that's why I always say fans, most of them, they never know what they're talking about because they have too much emotion involved in it. Fan is short for fanatic. You guys are fanatics. I get that, though. I used to be a fanatic until I decided I wanted to be a professional in this business. You can still be a fan in this business, but you can't be a fanatic. You have to be professional. You have to know what you're talking about. You can't be biased towards teams or towards players. You can like teams, you can like players, you can like certain guys, you can not like certain guys, or not care for certain guys. Nowadays in sports talk, journalism, radio, all that, that's all fair game now. You don't have to homer every damn team that's right there in the city that you talk out of. So a lot of things change with sports talk and with journalism. So you got a coach that either people like him or they don't. He knows his football, whether you believe that or not. Excuse me. He definitely hit coach running the ball. He's proven that. Olandis Gary. What's the other there? Mike Williams. You had Terrell Davis. You had Clinton Portis. You got Alfred Morris. I mean, he's had back after back after back after back. And, they always run for $1,000. You hear people that played for him tell you, hey, man, I like playing for Shanahan. Yeah, a little bit of an ass maybe, a little bit of a dick. I can get that. But, most great coaches and great players are a little bit of an ass, and whether you like it or not, ladies and gentlemen and children, they're a little bit of a dick too. But that's how you have to be in life if you want to be successful. You nice guys, they don't finish last, but damn sure don't win though. Sometimes you gotta be a little bit of an asshole. You can be a nice guy, but you gotta be a little bit of an asshole to win sometimes, okay? And that's with life, with friendship, with family, with women, with men, with dating, with marriage, with everything. You gotta be a little bit of an asshole. And the most successful people are. They're a little anal about their job. They're a little anal about how things get done. They're a little anal about how things are completed and how tasks are taken. That's Mike Shanahan. Now, 2 Super Bowl rings carries a lot of weight in this league. I didn't write the book, but I read it. The book of NFL says if you have rings, you're almost untouchable because it's so hard to get one. That's why it's respectable when guys have 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. You know, there's some guys in the NFL. That's trivia for you. Who's got 5 NFL Super Bowl rings? Anybody know the answer? Defensive player. Not an offensive player. Defensive player. I'll come back. This is how I'll see who watches and who don't. I'm going to put this out. I'll wait a day. I'll come back and cut another 10-second short video tomorrow. I'm going to just say the question again. I'm going to say the player's name. But there are players that have won multiple rings. It's impressive because it's so hard to win one. That's why one nowadays gets you a $100 million contract like Flacco. So his 2 Super Bowl rings have really carried a lot of weight. A lot of people think, hey, Shanahan said he won 2 rings. Yeah, Elway, but he also added Terrell Davis to that. Remember, Elway didn't have that before. He had Sammy Winder. God, my football mind. Oh my God, did I just say Sammy freaking Winder? Y'all go check that, man. Go look it up, man. Sammy Winder, Vince Jackson, and God, who's the other receiver on the other side? Damn. I forgot. That one slipped my mind. See, there I went bragging and shit. And then guy was like, oh, you bragging? All right, well, let me take one name out your mind. Yeah, is it? See what happens? All right, God, I get it. Gotta stay humble. I have a hard time doing that sometimes, though, man, because I'm so good. But anyway, I'm bugging. Y'all gotta excuse me, man. So you got Shanahan, you got 2 rings, so a lot's gonna carry weight with that. Now, let's move on to RG3. This is the part of the topic that gets serious to me. All right, I want to go a different route. I'm not going to beat the guy up on the field. I'm going to talk about what he's done off the field. I'm not going to talk about on the field. The numbers are about the same. 17 to 12, I think, is the touchdown to interception ratio. Last year, I think it was like 24 to 10 or something, 22 to 10. So it was a little better. Completing 60% this year. I think 63% last year. You're 3 and 10, so something's got to drop somewhere at one of the major positions. And quarterback rating, I think it's like 88. Last year, I believe it was a 106, 107. So there's some stats in there. That's all to fill. When I went on air back in July on my radio show, Unsportsmanlike Conduct, which you guys can find on Spreaker.com and iHeartRadio, plug. I said simply, somebody tell Robert Griffin III to shut the hell up. I said it back in July. Now, this isn't a bash session. I'm not going to bash him, but I am going to say what I said. I am going to say what I saw coming. What's this, December? 6 months ago. I said, somebody tell Robert Griffin III, shut the hell up. You talking way too much in the press right now. You're not even playing. I didn't listen, go get your endorsement deal. Go get your money. Go sign whatever, do whatever you want to do. But it's a way to do it. You know, if you want to make a Subway commercial, motherfucker, make a Subway commercial. But the brand of all in for one. Oh, well, I can't BS that answer. Oh, well, it's the coach's decision, so we got to do what the coach says. I'm telling you, I saw it right then and there. That first interview when he was asked the question, and he goes, well, I can't BS that. Wrong. At that point, somebody's got to grab him after the podium. After it's done, you can't interrupt him. But as soon as he walks off, somebody's got to grab him, pull him in the side room and say, all right, listen, here's the deal. You know you're not playing in preseason. We know you're not playing in preseason. We don't need everybody to know that you're not and that you can't BS a question, okay? Now, if you want to do that, understand there's going to be consequences down the road like there is right now. I'm in a, y'all see me. Sports Talk Batcave. Always got the big screen on sports. Either that or the 360 joint is running. We're playing Injustice right now. That's the game right now. Yo, if you ain't got Injustice, you got to go get that joint. I'm late. I know it came out back in the spring, but I got put onto it, so the Injustice stay in, or the 2K, something like that. Need for Speed get a lot of play in my crib too. Rivals right now? Yeah, Rivals is cracking. Anyway, so what's happening right now? It's the story all through sports. It's the talk all through sports. about RG3. And now you got people, oh, well, back when he was saying this and he was saying that, what the hell, man? Is my music skipping, man? What the hell? You can't have that. My bad, y'all. I was like, you just skip. I'm like, hold on, man. We can't have that. Anyway, that was ghetto, right? There's a hood-ass sports talk show. But back in the summertime, man, I really thought that he was talking way too much. And then it started to come off as like pouty or bratty or, like, hey, real talk, like Cam Newton. Everybody knows I'm a Cam guy. Cam. Everybody knows I mess with Cam. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows that I'm a Cam fan. But I didn't even like what I saw those first 2 years at those press conferences talk. You can't do that. And then they go and let you know about it. You think they gonna let it slide? No. You're the franchise face. You're the quarterback. You're gonna hear about all the shit you do. That's why as an NFL quarterback, you have to bring down the shit that you do. Colin Kaepernick, perfect example. Another guy who I honestly think, guys, call me what you want to call me. This is just what I'm looking at. I'm not gonna fail the eye test. He's a quarterback who looks like he's afraid to run now. Because them hits in the NFL hurt. Remember, he didn't get hurt last year like RG3 did. Why he not running this year? Because he knows they want to put you in a hospital, man. Defensive players have a complex about wanting and wishing and attempting to hurt NFL quarterbacks. Like, that's what they want to do. He's starting to feel that now. He's not running as much. I don't want to hear, oh, they figured out nah, man. When you're athletic, why take them so damn long to figure out Mike Vick then? I don't want to hear this shit about, oh, they figured it out. Yeah, maybe some defenses are scheming more toward it, but you can tell he's not running with that confidence no more. That's not Green Bay's defense out there. He's another guy who I thought that did a little too much during the offseason after just like one season. He didn't even have a full season. He played 8 games. And, you want to go to the ESPYs? Okay, you got invited. I can dig it. You just played in the Super Bowl, but the red carpet stuff and the red Ferrari rented, and I said that's a lot, man. You're doing too much. Then you're seen on the beach with a chick with a Dolphins hat on. Some Niner fans get pissed and tweet about it. You actually hold the hat up on Twitter like, is this what y'all mad about? Yeah, asshole, that's what they mad about. You don't play for them. You don't get to live like a regular person if you want to be an NFL quarterback. Now, if you want to live like a regular person, go stock grocery shelves, man, for $8.50 an hour. You won't have to worry about none of this. You get paid, athletes get paid so much money. Dude, you have to take this bullshit that you go and get. This is why the average American makes less than 1% of what you make. But they don't have to deal with this shit. And some of us got to deal with way more shit than you know. Maybe not to the extent that you deal with press, but average working Joe's got to deal with a lot of shit too. And we don't make the money that you guys make. So I thought there was just a little bit too much going on with those two young men, and back to Robert Griffin. Just a little bit too much press conference. Sprinting past the fans, slapping head. No. I understand it. Don't get me wrong. I understand why. But at that point in time, he had got so buddy-buddy with Coach. And this is where I'm going with my argument, my statement right now. He had gotten so buddy-buddy with Coach at that time that there was really no stopping it. And I think that comes to the question I was asked by my man Corey was, do you think he's being treated this way right now because he's a black quarterback and this and then all this comments? Well, why is it every time a black quarterback, a black quarterback can never read a defense and blah, blah, blah. All right. Now, this is where it's about to get serious. This is where I'm about to say some stuff that some of y'all not going to like. If you think for 1 second that our country's changed, all right, you're sadly mistaken. All right, I know people don't want to hear that. I know they don't want to believe that. It's still the same America. Some people just can't do certain things or certain nationalities or say certain things because we live in this sensitive society where, in my opinion, I think gays are more protected than the black man. Like, you could say and almost do whatever you want to a black man. But if you're anybody of any type of name or stature, if you say the F word for gays, which I don't use, but if you say that word, you either got to cut a really, really big check or you are just done. You can say nigger all the time. You're going to reap some heat about it. I just saw a TV promo for a TV show. The guy from Seinfeld who went off in the comedy club out in L.A. at the Chocolate Factory. You're a nigger. They're just two niggers. Y'all remember that clip? He's already back on TV. Kirstie Alley from Look Who's Talking, the mom from Look Who's Talking, she's got a show on TV Land. He's the co-star of it. So it wasn't but a year and a half that he was standing up there with Jesse Jackson, and he already back on TV. Nobody talks about Riley Cooper. And listen, I didn't have a problem with what he did. Guys are just stupid. Human beings are just ignorant. They don't know any better. So it's not gonna make me mad. When you don't know no better, it makes me. When you know better, then it pisses me off. Some people just don't know no better, man. They just don't. They get angry, they react, they say dumb shit. But in this country, when you have associated yourself a certain way as a black man, you have to expect certain kickback and wrath from other black men. Rob Parker made a comment. I tweeted out yesterday, so was Rob Parker still wrong? Because, oh man, I don't use the term corny black, but I will say that sometimes I feel like that some black men in this country forget the struggle of being a black man in this country. I do. It's not my opinion. That's how I feel. I'm not going to use the word opinion. I think the word opinion is a cop-out anyway for people who don't have any type of real intelligent facts to back up what they're saying. Oh, well, that's just my opinion. I don't like Miley Cyrus anymore. She used to be Hannah Montana. My daughter used to love her. All right, bitch. Well, Hannah Montana grew up. Miley Cyrus is like 21. She smokes weed and parties, and she's a big-time rock star type shit. Like, she's not Hannah Montana no more. Oh, but that's just my opinion. All right, well, bitch, don't mean your opinion mean anything. Then don't mean it's an intelligent one just because you got one. Just because you got an opinion don't make it an intelligent one. But I've always felt that certain black men in our country get to a certain stature and they feel like, I don't want to say that they're not black anymore, but I don't have those black problems. I'll say it like that. I don't have black, like Day said in next Friday, these black people problems when he took the little bill from Roach, when he found out they owed all the tax money. You don't know nothing about this. These black people problems. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I want to come at it and kind of attack it from. I think RG3, because there's all the stories that he's chum with the owner, which once again, I ain't got no problem with that. I ain't got no problem with you being chum with the owner. You're the franchise quarterback. He just wasted 2 ones and a 2 to get you, so you better be chum with him. But I think that has all kind of like played into RG3's head. And and there's other players in the locker room starting to speak out. You know, we heard Santana Moss did it like back in week 3. I hit my boy Mike Marshall. I was like, oh, so am I still hating? Because of course when I hit all of my Redskins stuff early in the year, I got you're hating RG3. I'm like, no, dog. I'm just looking at training camp right now. I'm just seeing what's in front of me. He's talking way too much. He's coming off an ACL. He's not going to be ready to play. I don't even know why they're even playing him. I don't even know why they're coming up with this whole thing, there for day one or ready for day one or whatever he said, whatever the business thing was that he signed, the t-shirts he was wearing and shit. And I didn't like any of that. I didn't like any of it at all. You're the second year in the league, man. Just sit down, rehab, come back when you're ready, dog, or come back strong so you can play for 13, 14 years, which I don't see happen. I think he's out of the league in 5 years. I just don't. I don't see it. Like I said, I'm not failing any eye test. I don't want to look into the future, but I feel like RG3 was kind of put on a pedestal when Rob Parker made those comments about him. I tweeted about that. Is Rob Parker wrong? Rob Parker made some comments about him and asked, I don't know. I want to know. That's all he really said. He didn't call him corny black. He said that's what people would perceive him to be. That's what people would say. I didn't have a problem with what Rob Parker said. I really didn't. I was really pissed that, he was let go for that or not let go. They didn't re-sign his contract. Because that was about a year ago. It was coming into the new year. They didn't re-sign his contract. So I was kind of pissed that happened to him. And I'm like, oh, well, the man he's asking what a lot of people want to know. He really was. Like, let's get real. All the black people, all the black men who watch this, be real with me. 100%. Ever since you've seen RG3, growing up where we grew up, growing up how we grew up, or if you didn't grow up in the hood, or if you didn't grow up in the semi-suburb hood, or the suburbs, the city, the country, you never really looked at certain black dudes that married white girls and thought, hey, man, I wonder, does he know his heritage? Does he act like us? And not act black. Black people, African American, we have an urban culture about us, okay? That's not acting black. That's our culture. The way we dress, the music we listen to. Can y'all hear that? That's crazy, right? That's Biggie. Like, that's Biggie. That's my heritage. That's my culture. That's what I listen to. That's what I grew up on. He says things that either I can relate to or I know somebody who can relate to him. So it puts me in connection with that as music. I don't listen to country, not because it's white country boys, because I can't relate to most of it. That's why I don't listen to a lot of hard rock. Why? Not because it's done by punk rock white boys. No, it's because I can't relate to most of what they're saying. So I don't watch certain movies. So we attach to things that, we're used to or that we feel familiarity with. And I think a lot of people liked Robert Griffin because he played for their team. But I'm from the DMV. I know a lot of dudes, man, that if he was a regular guy just hanging out, they wouldn't be on him. They wouldn't fuck with him. They wouldn't. And if they say, like some people I'm really thinking about in my mind right now, if they say they would, they're lying. Because I know people like that. I know people with those mannerisms that date white girls or are married to a white woman. I don't have a problem with it. My sister-in-law, for 22 years is white. I love her to death. That's my sister. I'm describing her as my sister-in-law so people don't think she's I think I'm lying, say she's my blood sister. She's married to my brother. I love that woman with all my heart and soul. I'll die for her and her kids, my nieces and nephews. So I don't have a problem with what anybody does as far as who you love. What I'm saying is, I think more blame in this story needs to be brought to all three pieces. It's not all RG3's fault, but he's played his part in it though. So don't defend him. It's not all Daniel Snyder's fault, but he's played his part in it. And it ain't all Mike Shanahan's fault. He's played his part of it. The part that they all have in common though is none of them have been humble and real enough to just stop for a second and say, okay, I'm fucking up. I'm fucking up. Snyder, I'm messing up. I can't let this kid have access to the jet as a rookie when I have London Fletcher on my team, who is a 15, 16-year vet, has the longest streak of current game starter right now in the NFL. If anybody get the damn jet, it's him. It's not the rookie. He don't get the jet. He don't get access to your private sky club and all this other stuff. And he don't get that yet. He got to go prove something. 10-6 last year, won the division, cool, but lost the game. I'm not going to talk about the injury and all that because they're all lying. Shanahan lying, Andrews is lying, Robert Griffin lied, Daniel Snyder lying. Daniel Snyder ain't take care of the field. You got all that money and you had a week to get that field prepared. And that's what you put your franchise, not just your quarterback, you put your franchise out on that. Damn, just the quarterback. How about if Alfred Morris blows his knee out? How about if your left tackle blows his knee out? How about if your veteran Santana Moss blows his knee out? So it wasn't just about that. Like, everybody fucked up last year. Everybody needs to put blame everywhere. But what I want to say about RG3 is that I want people to, you got to call it what it is. Like, let's, another thing too. Can we stop with the, every time it's a black quarterback, they can't read our offense? As black men, we have to start really being honest with ourselves. Before we can start really putting blame on other things, let's go through some black quarterbacks real quick. My favorite black quarterback of all time, had a chance to meet him with my mom and Terrence. We met him, we met Eric Dickerson, I met Reggie White, I met Jerome Brown, Keith Jackson, all of them. At an Indianapolis Colts Philadelphia game, my mom was out in Indianapolis at Fort Bend Harrison doing some training for the military. Randall Cunningham. None of these dudes can carry Randall Cunningham's pack of condoms to go hit a groupie, dog. You can't even get that duty. You don't even get to carry the condom box to go mess with the groupie with me, dog. You can't even do that. Warren Moon had to go win 5 Grey Cups in Canada before the NFL even said, all right, come play. This dude has more. If you put all his career passing yards together, he's thrown for more yards than anybody in football history. Go look at his college career up in Washington. He put UW on the map. They was going to Rose Bowls, okay? They ain't been to, when last time Washington been to Rose Bowl? When Napoleon Kaufman was there? I know they ain't been there like the last 20 years. So when we start talking about these dudes today, first of all, let's stop kissing these kids' asses. All my boys back in DMV, all my Redskins friend, stop kissing RG3 ass, man. Like Mike Vick, he changed the game, but even Mike Vick had his shortcomings, guys. Let's be real. None of these dudes today don't read defenses. Kaepernick can't read past his first option. Vince Young is out of the league. Achilles Smith was a bust in the same draft with Peyton Manning, Ryan Leaf, Charles Woodson. McNabb was in that draft. What was it? Ricky Williams was in that draft. Achilles Smith wasn't even in the league for a fight. Jamarcus Russell. Okay? The dude that's still hanging around who's doing pretty well for himself is Jason Campbell. But some of these young brothers, they don't take the time because we're so worried about partying. We're so worried about chains and watches and women and cars and off-season rap video appearances. Then to sit your ass down all off-season and study a fucking playbook. Start to make us, if you want to complain about why is it always they can't read the defense, then how about let's start boycotting our black quarterback until they start doing better for themselves. And I'm saying that as a black man. Like, come on. Michael Vick admitted the tapes, the game film tapes that Moore used to give him used to stack up in his trunk. What we saw in Atlanta was all 100% athletic ability. All of it. He never studied the game. The coaches and the Raiders would say they would give Jamarcus Russell blink CDs, blink DVDs, and send him home and see if he even watched them. Because they got to the point where it's like, yo, is he even looking at the tape? Hey, well, let's do this. Let's set it up. We're gonna put a blank DVD in the case, send it home to him. Bring it back. Yo, so what you think? Yeah, the game plan looks good, coach. Everything looks real good. Especially the way we're gonna attack, you know? What the fuck did you watch? We gave you a blank CD. There wasn't shit on it. So, I mean, God, as black men, let's hold our stars accountable. Let's hold our leaders accountable. We just lost Nelson Mandela. We didn't have to hold him accountable. He held himself accountable. That's why he was a leader. That's why he was a legend. Like, I almost teared up, man. Like, I feel like in my lifetime, we lost the most legendary man I've ever known, like, was Nelson Mandela. He's like a human Jesus. Like, that's how he was viewed. My generation, my grandparents' generation, it was them. It was Martin Luther King when he was assassinated, when he died. For our generation, it was Nelson Mandela. We lost a world legend. Not Michael Jackson. No, we lost Nelson Mandela. Listen, I like Mike as much as anybody, all right? He ain't no damn Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, like one man, think about it. I now feel one man can change the world. Ain't that crazy? Because everybody goes, man, one person don't make a difference. Yeah, it does, man. His name is Nelson Mandela. Like, that's some cool shit. But let's start holding our black quarterbacks. Let's start holding them accountable. I hold them accountable, man. Like, Kaepernick, you can have him. You know what I'm saying? RG3, I'm being real. You can have him. The only one in the league you can really get me today, I'll take Jason Campbell. Of course, you got to have a good team. You got to have pieces. Like, he's in Cleveland. It's not enough there for him, but he's doing well for himself. He's doing really well in Cleveland. He did well in Washington. Washington just didn't have all the pieces around him. And it's a disgruntled franchise. That franchise is, think about where they've gone from last year to this year. But anyway, I want to stay on the black quarterback. I didn't like some of the comments that I saw. And not you, Corey. Your comment was cool. There's a few people's comments on that I wasn't digging because it's like, okay, here we go with the, why is it every time? Let's get real. Can RG3 repass his first option? Why is he holding on to the ball? Let's ask a better question. You know football. I got a question for y'all. What does it mean when a quarterback holds on to the football? That's a basic football question. You can ask a 7-year-old Pop Warner that. He's going to say, coach, because maybe he's scared. What else? Maybe he doesn't know where to throw. Exactly. Quarterbacks that hold on to the football, they're either scared or they're holding back that trigger or they don't know where to go with the ball. The best quarterbacks, they don't hold on to the ball. That shit comes out, man. Bam. 1, 2, 3, up, dump off. 1, 2, boom, right there. 1, 2, up, but there's 3. The best quarterbacks, man, they don't hold on to the ball. I love when the NFL, when I'm watching games, they show the replay of the quarterback, and you watch his eyes. I love that shit. I love when they show that, because I'm like, that's how it's done. Black or white. But you have to study and dedicate yourself and really put yourself in position to make plays like that, to read like that. It's not in the jewelry stores. It's not on sneaker shopping sprees. It's not tricking on some hoe down in Cabo. It's not being in the latest Lil Wayne video and then hanging out with him and his friends in Miami for a week. It's at the facility, studying, man. Getting this shit down. And let's just get real. Our black quarterbacks don't do that. Now that Cam Newton is starting to do it, you're starting to see what's happening now. He's not throwing the interceptions like he was before. His passes aren't erratic like it was before. He admitted, I had to sit back, I had to work. I had to study more, and I had to realize I don't have to do everything. You get that type of mentality once you start dedicating yourself, once you start studying. Because Michael Vick said the whole time I was in Atlanta, I just thought I had to do everything. Because he never dedicated himself. He never studied and understood, okay, I don't have the best receivers, but I got Algie Crumpler. Ward Dunn's running for 1,400 yards. You know what I'm saying? I got a good defense. Eugene Robinson anchored that defense. Keith Brooken was in the middle. Eugene Robinson played safety. Keith Brooken was in the middle. I mean, they had a good team. That team went to a conference championship game with Mike Vick. So we got to start holding our black quarterbacks accountable, and we just don't do it. And I want our black quarterbacks to run the NFL. I want them to flourish in the NFL. But not if we're going to just keep the same mentality we got. Because we know our people going to back us anyway. I'm still a Vic guy. I am. I'm still a Vic guy, and I own a pit bull. I love my pit bull. And I'm still a Vic guy, though. That had nothing to do with me. Whatever he did on his time, that's got nothing to do with me. If a player gets a DUI, am I supposed to stop drinking? No. If a player gets busted with weed, I'm supposed to stop blowing trees? No. I'm going to do it. That's got nothing to do with me. I pay attention to what players do from door to door. Press conference, on the field, that's it. All personal stuff, I ain't got nothing with. So anyway, listen, I don't want to rap. I can go on and on and on and on, but excuse me, Corey, that's my response, man. It's all three people's fault. To put everything in a nutshell, it's everybody's fault. All three of them are fucked up at a time, and the three of them all have one thing in common, and they just haven't admitted what they've done and what they could have done to make the situation better. And now it's out of hand. It's blown out of hand. No, I don't think this is because he's a black. I'm sorry, I don't. This ain't. Listen, he's buddy. All right, what's going on, everybody? That video cut off, so I'm just going to finish it up real quick. But anyway, like I was saying, man, it's all three people's fault on the whole RG3 and this whole case right now going up the Redskins. Daniel Snyder, Shanahan, RG3, they all had their part in it. No one admitted to where they were fucking up at. But to my people, the part that I want to get real, socially with y'all is, like, stop blaming everybody for, like, a black quarterback's issues. If they need to get better, we need to hold them more accountable to get better so that we don't have to keep hearing this anymore. And obviously, the guy hadn't really studied. He hadn't done a lot, guys. Let's get real. I know, listen, the knee was hurt earlier. It's almost a year. Maybe it's about 90% right now. But that's why you need to lean on your arm. And you got to lean on your eyes and your brain, man. So let's just call it what it is. But I think also, too, on the flip side of that, I think he feels like he's in a certain crowd. He's in the white crowd because he's polished. He has a white wife. I mean, hey, it is what it is in America, guys. Like I said, there's some people out there that's not going to believe that or that's not going to want to hear that. I'm not saying all black men that marry white women like that, but there are some. Y'all know it just like I do. I'm just the guy that just has the balls to say it, man. So that's my take on the Washington Redskins situation right now. But RG3 and this whole situation going on. VJ Wright on Sportsmanlike Conduct. Hey, if you love it, I appreciate it. If you don't, do with it what you want, man.